what I'd tell her is that locker rooms are architecturally designed in such a way that no two people who are changing have to necessarily...
No, they're not. Have you ever seen a locker room?
People that don't do sport tell people that do sport how they have to behave when they feel uncomfortable. Ladies and gentlemen, be respectful. We're going to watch Charlie Kirk 2.0.
Men cannot be women.
Okay. I think...
Can I just ask you a simple question so we can have a understanding of definitions?
Yes.
What do you think is a woman?
I think for the purposes of this, a trans woman can be defined as a woman.
What is a woman?
Very interesting how you can see the fear, how they have to respond to this question.
If you want to talk about it as like a societal role, you have...
Just a definition, not a society, just a definition.
How would you define what is a woman, or the word woman? And maybe we can do it without using the word woman, because that's kind of like a circular definition.
This is the one debate where it's going to be caught up in, if we don't agree on what the definition is, then it's going to be going in a loop over and over again.
Correct.
Like, if you want to talk about trans people in sports, I'd love to talk about that.
Well, so let's just talk about what is a woman.
I think that's a good point. Let's focus on one issue. Once we know the issue or the thing or whatever we're going to talk about, then we can relate it to the sport, how we can solve it
First,
That
so we can agree.
That will lead into that eventually, right? But we need to...
We're happy to, and by the way, you come up with a definition, we're happy to use your definition.
Sure. Then, fine. Let's go with the definition here. That a woman is somebody... For the sake of debate, a woman is somebody who believes herself to be so.
Okay. So let's test that logic now. A woman is somebody who believes herself to be basically a woman, yeah?
For this purpose, yes.
But it's like, well, you decided, so we use this definition. Let's go along with it. My party doesn't define it the way I just defined it.
Purpose, yes.
Okay. Am I a lizard?
No.
I believe myself to be a lizard.
No, you don't.
I do.
No, you don't.
Okay, let me ask you this. How about this? Wait, hold up, David. We'll just test this real quick. Is this a lizard?
Who is that?
It's a lizard.
That guy's pretty cool.
Is he a lizard?
That guy's pretty cool.
Is he a lizard?
I'd call him a lizard. He's pretty cool.
Okay, and so you think that this person should be looked at and identified as a lizard by anybody who he wants to be identified as a lizard
I mean,
by?
I see the word lizard man.
Is he a lizard?
He seems...
I think that's a great point. There's a bunch of people that changes their body on the outside to justify they're something or somebody else.
Is he a lizard?
He seems to be a lizard man.
Okay, is it true that he's a lizard?
I don't know anything about this guy, but
He's identifying as a lizard. Is he a lizard?
is he?
Is he?
He's at Ripley's, believe it or not. This
Yeah.
is ridiculous.
Yeah. Is he a lizard? I'll get there in a second.
Yeah,
Is he a lizard? We went off your definition to be charitable.
This is a guy at Ripley's.
No, yeah, my point here.
I find it interesting when you bring an uncomfortable truth. They're like, this is my truth. But is that a lizard? It seems kind of weirdly funny. I don't understand that. But I'm like, you can't laugh at one and affirm one.
You identify as something does not make you that thing, right? I could identify as a cat and eat out of a cat bowl right now. Doesn't make me a cat. I'm still a human being.
Identify as a black person, right? Does that suddenly make me black?
I think that there is a difference in this case when we're talking about gender roles, but I wanted to hear your definition of it too.
Yeah, my definition of a woman is just simply an adult human female.
Right. Now, if we're I'd like to actually talk. Here's the thing about trans issues, right? Mm-hmm. Trans issues are something that objectively divides the country. Do you agree on that?
Sure.
I mean, so does immigration, so does Free Palestine, so does BLM. There's a lot of opinions that divide us.
There's a significant portion of the country that has strong feelings that transgender people are highly valid. And if we're just meeting it on people having different definitions here, then that is...
But we were willing to use your definition.
It's an entirely unproductive debate. So I'd like... Yeah, don't cut me off, man.
We were willing to use your definition.
I want to talk about like actual trans issues, because if this is the extent of the debate, then that's not very helpful.
Well, we want to figure out real quick if men can be women, and then we can talk about trans issues. Can men be women? Your definition of a woman.
Okay, a man can be a woman by transitioning.
Okay.
There are some studies out there.
So is it, again, it just brings me back to, is this a lizard? He's transitioned to a lizard.
I would appreciate it if you didn't cut me off.
Go ahead.
And I would appreciate if anybody says there's something else and they decide to do changes to their body, does that justify what they are by your own definition?
Men can become a woman, we understand that, but does that make them a woman?
Okay, here's what I would say. If that lizard person that you have identified here, which is ridiculous, but if that lizard person...
I would say it's ridiculous to dress up
somehow
like a woman.
Was miraculously transformed into a reptile, then...
Yeah, but you see the problem here is he's tattooed scales on his body and he's forked his tongue so that he looks like a lizard.
That's awesome.
When a man transitions to a woman, they don't magically become a woman. They dress up like a woman and pretend to be one. You see how there's a difference there?
There's a study. There are studies from 2022. I can pull it up if you'd like, if you want to get into studies, saying that the brain chemistry of trans women are more similar to cisgender women than they are to cisgender men.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. What's the point?
I find it very interesting when we speak about something and we always look at that specific small percentage that might change how we have to see everybody else. I don't think that's productive. Remember to subscribe.
¿Por qué?
If we're arguing over definitions, you're going to lose any actual substantive debate, man. I want to actually talk with you about this.
Well, the problem that we have is that you say that anyone can become a woman as long as they identify as that. That means that if I just claim to be a woman right now the way I am, I can suddenly walk into the girls' bathroom here. That has an effect on policy. I don't know if that's the case on this campus.
I'd love to talk about policy, man.
No. One second. Policy. I know you do, but we can't have a debate about policy until we have a definition about the words. Because if a woman means something else to you, and it obviously means something different to us, which is a generally accepted term, then we can't have a debate about the policy because you'll continuously tell me that anyone that just identifies as a woman is a woman, but that's not true.
Well,
it's objectively not true.
It's also like demeaning to women. Like women...
I want to talk about sports. Can we talk about trans people in sports?
Well, one second. Do you honestly dumb it down to be a woman to just having long hair, being pretty, putting makeup on or whatever?
That's not true. I have long hair and I'm very pretty.
But the difference is the people that you're justifying in this situation do believe that, but you can't confirm that. It's like somebody calling a black man an N-word. And I'm like, hey, well, I don't feel offended if they call me an N-word because I'm not an N-word. It's a circular logic. You just want to be right.
Sorry. Yeah, do you identify as a woman?
Nah.
Okay.
Which is the crucial distinction here.
Exactly. So I don't think that anybody who identifies as something is just that thing because they identify it as it, right? I think that's ridiculous.
Can I say something? Take a slight tangent real fast. I appreciate you all being here.
Thank you. Appreciate you being here.
Like, I assume that you came out here because of the Charlie Kirk stuff.
We've been on tour for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Post Charlie's death, yeah.
I feel like what the last thing that this country needs is people trying to restrict freedom of expression here.
We totally agree.
Unfortunately,
So
we
therefore
got
trans
kicked
women
off a campus.
So therefore, trans women are women? Is that what you're going to say? What is that? Oh,
That's
you're just
a
saying.
First Amendment express that.
Yeah, you can say that.
And anybody here can be transgender, whatever, right?
Thank you.
But that doesn't mean that we have to live in that in your reality that a man can be a woman.
Then in what ways?
Because
do you
that has
to
an
live in that
impact on
reality?
actual
Because
policy.
it's not reality.
But if we did that and the policy stayed the way it is already, I don't think a lot of people would mind. But the policies always change.
Actual policy impacts does it have then?
Bathrooms, sports.
Do you know, according to the NCAA, how many trans women in sports there are?
The universities that comply with the rules receive the funding.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
Man. I want to get to the meat of this. Do you know how many trans people in sports there are according to the NCAA?
How many? How many?
The NCAA found that in the entirety of America, the number of trans people competing in top-level sports is less than 10.
And I found that the amount of murders committed every single year are less than 1% of the population. Does that mean we should murder's fine? Don't make it illegal?
Well, it means transgender sports is fine. Murder is
Well, no.
Wait. But
It's a minimal issue that we shouldn't focus about it or we shouldn't address it. Just because it impacts just 10 people or so, that you're saying that we should disregard that.
Well, this is that. This is just normal. I'm like, no, it's not normal because if I don't do this normal, you're telling me they might snip.
Guard
that
that.
impacts everyone around them. Their teams, the teams they compete against.
I'm saying, I agree, first of all. Every issue, no matter how small, is an issue. But I want to say to you viewers at home that if you're getting this worked up over 10 people, there are many more pressing things that could be used with that time. But while we're here, I will talk
Just
about
because
those
it's only 10 people doesn't mean it's not a problem. Again, if the murder rate is only 1%, that doesn't mean the murder's not a problem and you should make murder legal because there's not very much of it, right? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Even if it's only 10, if I say anything wrong on YouTube, the video is gone. I lose the channel. I get demonetized. That's how easily I got demonetized for 2 freaking years.
Impact everyone on their team. They impact everyone on every team they compete against. It's a problem. I'm friends with Paula Scanlon, who swam on the University of Pennsylvania team with Leah Thomas. Okay, she had to sit in a locker room while William Thomas, took his women's bathing suit off and flung his penis out every day.
So
You understand how that could be uncomfortable for women?
are you at the point where you're saying that people can't change their names either?
I don't care if you change your name. What I do care about,
so we're talking
what
about
I do care about is you changing in front of women and pulling your penis out after having dated a member of that team.
You can already see he's uncomfortable because he brought an issue that he wants to call out. That naming. The moment you use the name that they used previously before the transitioning, yeah, but the fact that he's so uncomfortable about this shows you how much the policies might affect him on his own freedom of speech. Don't tell me it's just a small percentage because it already controls your vocabulary.
Dated in front of women and pulling your penis out after having dated a member of that team. William Thomas dated a person on the UPenn women's swim team and then switched teams and changed butt naked in the women's locker room. And it takes a long time to get out of those wet race suits.
I know quite a few. I mean, what's wrong with dating someone on the same team, man?
Because it's kind of weird when you have a man who's sexually attracted to women changing in your locker room with his penis.
But so if you have a penis, you shouldn't be in a women's locker room?
Are you
Yeah.
saying that?
So if you have genital reconstruction and have a penis, then should you be in the men's locker room? If you look like one of you, but you were born as a woman, should you then which bathroom should you use?
My goat.
Well, if you have a penis, then you're in the men's room.
Okay.
So after you get a surgery.
But is a reconstructed penis a penis or is it a vagina turned inside out? Answer me the question.
I think it's a semantic argument. I don't think it matters.
You're a woman. You're still a woman.
So how
You're in the
here's
women.
question. Should lesbians be allowed in sports teams?
Yeah.
Lesbian is a different thing. It's not about the attraction anymore. It's about what somebody can do to you because you see them as a different person with more strength. And some people might even be traumatized depending what they see down there. And I have an issue with certain people in a party that tells me just deal with it. And if you're traumatized, you need to go to a therapist.
But they're attracted to women. Isn't that weird? Imagine
They don't have a penis. Do you understand the difference? They don't have a penis.
Okay, should gay men be on the sports team? They could see other men naked.
They don't have a vagina. They don't have a vagina.
And be on the men's sports team,
Should gay men be
sure.
allowed on a sports team? But they could see
Sure,
other
that's-
men naked in the locker room. Oh my god!
Okay, that doesn't do anything regarding the women being a men being inside a women's locker room. How, right, a man with his
This is a difference. My primary issue is like I don't think that any man in the locker room is going to be like scared of a gay guy in his locker room, right? But I do think that it could be scary for women to be changing in front of a giant, broad-shouldered Leah Thomas with a penis.
I
Would
have
you
a
be
question
scared?
for you. Of the 10 college athletes,
You wouldn't be comfortable?
how many of them have sexually assaulted somebody else within a locker room?
I don't care.
If a woman is afraid, do you think I'm going to ask her this question? How many times did men assault you for you to think patriarchy and men are massage? I would never do that. There is a fear. That's why even Me Too exists. Because we don't want women to not have a voice and not speak out because people think they're going to judge them, right? But only in this case, a lady can do that.
I believe the number is 2.
It's not. I don't care. My argument doesn't hinge on that. It's irrelevant.
You would feel uncomfortable. You wouldn't be uncomfortable if somebody like myself walked into the locker room, you were 6 feet away from me, and I just pulled my... That's all I have
It's your
to do
right
is
to
just-
pull your penis out in front of women?
Well, that's public exposure.
I don't think so.
Is it why?
That's a really weird opinion.
There are a lot of women. There are a lot of people who are born female who now look like you because they've transitioned and they've taken hormone therapy and they've had genital reconstruction, perhaps.
Sure.
Would you want those people in women's locker rooms?
Yeah, most of those people are past the point of being in college sports. And for bathrooms, what I would say is you do it based on self-reporting. So I would say women should be able to, if a man walks into the restroom, right, be able to report that person for being a man. But if you fully pass as a woman, you're never going to get reported. It's the perfect solution to the issue.
Pass, nobody is going to say anything. And if you perfectly pass as a man, even if they notice it, They won't care. And even if we talk about sport, what is even more interesting is that most people that try to defend this aren't even in sport, justifying for other women that are in sport. That's like me saying I want to judge the food that you're going to eat, but I'll never eat it because I don't like it.
I have a question for you. Do you have a problem with Donald Trump shooting a man? Do you have a problem with Donald Trump shooting a man in the head and killing him?
What does this have to do with the
Do
topic?
you think it's wrong? I will get back to
I mean,
why
what
it's
does this have to do
I
Yeah.
will explain that if you answer the question.
Yeah, I would have an issue with Donald Trump shooting somebody.
Okay, so you agree? I mean, that hasn't happened. That hasn't happened at
Yeah.
all. So it's a stupid thing to talk
But you know
about.
what has happened? Women feeling uncomfortable in the locker room with Leah Thomas who has her penis out. The entire team felt uncomfortable. I know them.
And some even lost. Some even lost scholarship because they were maybe in the 3rd place, now 4th place. No scholarship.
And unfortunately, they are the ones that had to go get, the re-education?
Yeah, they had to go to like classes to teach them not to be offensive to Leah Thomas. And the university told them that the university will seek reprisal against them and kick them off the team if they were to say anything publicly about it.
And that's how we treat women in 2025, which is crazy.
I can't.
How do I
That's
sound
how
as
you
a
treat
bigger
women in
feminist than the liberal?
2025.
Yeah. Only
Yes,
women can
I'm
be
a
women.
feminist suddenly in 2025 as a conservative.
Thank you,
That
my
is
man.
crazy.
Thank
No,
you.
but you're not a feminist.
I'm a feminist.
You're saying anybody like myself.
Effeminate,
can
not
suddenly say, oh,
feminist, not effeminate.
I think he's a feminist defined by LGBTQ.
Anyway, so here's the thing. Here's the other thing. Like, you are using the most extreme examples which have never happened to justify.
They have happened. I just gave you specific examples of them happening.
his friend.
Yeah, I mean, yes, there is an example in which Leah Thomas was in the locker room with somebody.
Every day for years.
Do you have a female friend?
I do have a female friend.
Okay, if she came to you and said the exact same story, I was in a locker room, somebody that identifies as a woman that's obviously a male started to unchange next to me, undress, and I saw his penis.
And it's not even just that either. It's you're standing in front of this guy with the penis and you're naked too.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
No. And she came and complained to you. What would you tell her? That she's wrong? That she's sick?
what I'd tell her is that locker rooms are architecturally designed in such a way that no two people who are changing have to necessarily.
No, they're not. Have you ever seen a locker room?
Ladies and gentlemen, I said it before. People that don't do sport tell people that do sport how they have to behave when they feel uncomfortable.
Have you ever seen a locker room?
Go into like a bathroom.
Right. Their locker room didn't have
I'm
those.
a club sports member.
So do you think there's enough like bathrooms near the locker room for every single woman on the swim team to get a stall? No. Right? Leah Thomas was supposed to change in the family bathroom, but the school changed the policy. And so the locker room is just a square room that has you ever seen a locker room? They're like built into the wall. Each person has a cubby, right?
Yes.
Right. So you're all standing shoulder to shoulder next to each other getting naked. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
You see how that could be uncomfortable for a woman changing next to a man? In a wet race suit that's the size to like fit an American Girl doll that takes 20 minutes to get in and out of when it's sopping wet.
20 minutes, guys. It takes 20 minutes to change
Yes.
a swimsuit, folks.
20 minutes is a lot. Let me just ask an AI.
Yep, it's pretty true. Those practice suits, especially the high-tech ones for meets, can take 15 to 20 minutes to get off when they're wet. They're super tight for speed, so you gotta roll them down slowly from top to bottom. No yanking. Dry they're easier, but soaked? Ugh. Just use a towel to help slide them off.
Wow.
Right? It's like wrestling an octopus.
Okay, I didn't expect it. Well, now I got my answer. I didn't know it was an issue, but wow, imagine it. If this is true, bro, I didn't even know this, and now wow.
Somebody has had their genitals surgically reconstructed.
You have a fake penis?
No, like somebody has had their genitals, like a trans woman has had their genitals surgically reconstructed so that they are, let's say, identical to the other genitals of the woman on the team. Or at least
Okay.
visually identical.
Yeah.
Sure.
Still a man.
Why would they be uncomfortable with that?
You have to keep the rule. It doesn't matter.
Like, why would that make
You have to keep the rule.
You have to keep what rule?
The rule that men aren't allowed in the women's locker room.
But one of my buddies is a big fan of the show. I don't agree with the rule to begin with, but anyway, I guess you should talk to other people.
Yeah.
I appreciate your time.
Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
I would say the best solution would be is have bathrooms with doors. People can go in, change, and go out, and they just need to switch up like that and just come out later and swim. At least that's how they do it in many other countries.
Don't get me wrong, makosa kita bong. Put the fire na mi blonde, kush, hash, purple, skunk, criollo, colombici, jam, jam, turloqueta, verdeta, welcome.